We walked along the beach at Waimea with our towels. The waves rolled in gentle swells and broke a few yards out from the shore. White water swelled at our ankles, feeling cool and refreshing. Summertime on the North Shore. A perfect, cloudless day of my youth. "Hey, we're gonna jump off the rock, brah," Paka said, pointing toward the big black rock that sat at the end of the beach. The rock rose some 20 feet above the beach and provided a ledge from which everyone jumped off. The rock was a rite of passage for kids like us. We'd watch the big guys jump off, their bodies plunging deep into the blue-green water below, and you could hear their friends yelling and screaming as they fell. "Nah, my mama said for me no jump off the rock," I said, shading my eyes and looking up at the huge pile of rocks. Tourists were climbing the rock too with their cameras. You could see their white legs and knee-high socks as they made their way to the top. None of them would jump off. They only wanted to take pictures from their perch of the beach and of the kids jumping off. "So what, brah? You chicken, huh? You chicken?" Paka poking my chest with his fingers. "Go ahead, brah. Stay down here. Me, I'm going up." He dropped his towel on the beach and ran into the water as it surged around the rock, wading out to the base of the rock. I'll never live this down. Paka gonna tell everybody I stay chicken and I never jump with him. Damn it. I watched his skinny tan form make its way up, handhole by handhole, until he reached the top, and when he reached the top, he turned and waved at me, gloating. "Oh, that Paka, gotta rub it in." I sat down on my towel and moped. And I looked up as a figure leaped off the rock. His plunge was accompanied by yells and cheers and clapping, and then ka-chunk, a splash of white water as a figure disappeared into the waves. Oh boy, I can't stand this. This is torture. Paka will never let me live this down. Of course, there were the signs along the beach about the rock. I mean, bodily injury or death was a huge deterrent for many, especially the death part. Plus, my mother said stay off the rock, period. Okay. Charlene Carvalho from Pupukea and her sister Chantel came walking up the beach in their shorts and t-shirt, holding their rubber slippers in their hand. Me and Charlene had fought period together. "How's it, Kamaka? What? You not gonna jump?" she asked, plopping herself down next to me. Chantel, her older sister, was chewing bubblegum, making cracking sounds with her mouth, standing, looking at me. "Nah," I said, flicking sand from my leg. "What? Scared?" Chantel said, still standing, chewing like one cow. "Shut up," Charlene said. "No listen to her. She just mad 'cause our mother said we no can jump, and if we do, we gonna get dirty lickings." "Yeah, but I would show them boys how to jump. I can make cannonball. I can make them jump and make a big splash," Chantel boasted, turning around to look at the rock that now kind of looked like a big pincushion with all the heads of people standing on it. "Uh-huh," Charlene said. "She's so fat, she don't need to make cannonball. All she gotta do is jump and it's all over." We both laughed, and Chantel swore and kicked sand at Charlene and trudged off further down the beach. Her double X wide t-shirt fit tightly over her generous okole. "Ooh, Chantel lucky I never stand up," Charlene said. "I'm gonna pull her hair out, that fat monkey," and she brushed sand from her legs. "No heck," I said. "If she sat on you, she would kill you." "Would kill us both," Charlene said, laughing, pushing me over into the sand. We both had a laughing fit for a couple of minutes. Chantel looked over at us from about 20 feet away. "I heard that," she yelled, and me and Charlene had another laughing fit for another 10 minutes. Then I heard one Tarzan yell coming from the top of the rock. Charlene and me squinted up toward the sound, and we caught sight of Paka leaping into the air. And he yelled again on the way down, rolling himself up into a ball just before he hit the water. And his jump was perfectly timed with a swell that rolled lazily by the rock. And a decent-sized splash of white water exploded as he hit. And a few seconds later, he popped up and swam to shore. "Whoo!" he said as he loped up the beach toward me and fell face down on the beach beside me. He looked up at me, his face coated with sand. "So what? You saw me," he said, breathing really hard. I shook my head. "Did you see him?" I asked Charlene. She shook her head no, taking my lead. What? You never saw me jump? He repeated, exasperated. No. Why, brah? You ain't jump? I asked seriously, and Paka freaked. Hey! I made Tarzan yell and everything. He stood up, dripping on me, walking back toward the water to rinse off. Nah, brah, I yelled after him. I thought it was some Samoans from Laia making noise, so I never looked. And Charlene poked me and laughed. You bull lie, Paka said, walking back, squeezing the water from his shorts with his hands. Hey, you from Pupuke, huh? He said, eyeballing Charlene. I seen you at the bus stop by Nimi's store. Yeah, Charlene said. You the same grade with my sister, huh? Chantal. And she pointed toward her sister who was looking the other way. Oh, that's your sister, Paka said, lowering his voice, turning his back to Chantal. Hi, Paka, Chantal said in a sing-song voice. How you? Paka's face turned a couple shades of pink and red, and he turned and half waved to her. How's it? Hey, nice jump, Chantal said. Thanks, I think I'm going one more time, Paka said. And he waded back into the water and did his crab climb back to the top of the rock, scampering to the edge. Woohoo! Chantal said, yelling at Paka. Hey, Paka took my sister to the winter ball last year, Charlene said. She wasn't so, the kind healthy then. Not, I said, giving Charlene a surprised look. Paka and Chantal? Chantal and Paka? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, Chantal said. You never know. Holy moly! That stinker never tell me, I hissed. He said he no go for that kind stuff. Eh, Charlene laughed. I get Polaroid picture of them too. Bombay, I show you. Yeah, that I like, see. I smiled as Paka did his Tarzan yell and leaped off the rock again. Paka was very quiet walking back to the house in the valley. We crossed the highway and opened the gate into the yard. Our families were close. Paka was about, maybe 2 years older than me. He was the closest thing I had to a big brother, and he often spent summers at our house hanging out and going to the beach with me and my cousins. His father was going to pick him up at the house when he was power work. So, you know Chantal's sister, eh? Paka said. Yeah, we get fought period. And by the way, she get pictures of you, brah. Pictures of the winter ball. I slapped his back, laughing. Paka shook his head. Okay, you got me. He put his hands up like he was giving up, and I handed him a bottle of grape soda, opening one for myself with the bottle opener and handing the opener to him. You know, I think Paka and Chantal were married when he came back from the army. I kind of lost track of Charlene over the years, but the rock is still there. Man, he could tell plenty stories if he could talk. I stopped by recently on Kamehameha Highway above the rock. The beach stretched out to the other side of the bay, and the rock seemed farther out than I remembered. The waves swirled around the base, and yes, there were kids jumping off the ledge. And I could hear a Tarzan yell of one kid as he leaped off the ledge. And I smiled, and I shook my head. That Paka never even wait for one swell. And I remembered being invincible too, a long, long time ago.